Lightcast viewers. This is Ninjal Kolek with
And
you this morning.
and I'm Don Martin.
So today morning, we're gonna go through some of the things that the President of the Republic of Kenya, President William Ruto, said during the State of the Nation address at the Parliament buildings. You know, the English say the early bird catches the worm, so come on, get into, following our broadcast, share, comment, like, and also give us your thoughts on what you think the president said that can commensurate with actually what is happening on the ground. Just before we get into the discussion, I just want to go through some of the things that the president said. As a matter of fact, some of the quick wins he felt that the Kenya Kwanza administration was able to do for the past 1 year. So, according to President Ruto, during the State of the Nation address at the Parliament buildings, he was able to reiterate that the Kenyan government allocated an additional 3 billion to the judiciary. So the total budget of the judiciary 2023-2024 financial year is 23 billion. Then something else that is said about the fertilizer. He talked about fertilizer prices which were reduced. They were formerly 6,500. Therefore, he stepped in, and therefore the Kenyan government significantly reduced the price of fertilizer. So a 50 kg bag of fertilizer was reduced from 6,500 to 3,500, and later in August he reduced it to 2,500. That one can be confirmed to be true. Something else that he said was that the 2 kg packet of maize flour retailing at between 250 shillings before is now retailing at between 145 shillings and 175 shillings depending on the brand. Now, he also said something to do with digital register for farmers. My question is it really there in the public when you go to the public information and look for that digital register for farmers? Is it even really there? That is something that I'm questioning. And also something that I'm questioning is that the 2 kg packet of maize flour is retailing at an average of 200 shillings. There are some shops where you'll find the maize flour is retailing at an average of 200 shillings. That one I can confirm myself because in my house I'm the one who buys the stuff. Something else that the Kenyan government, through President William Ruto in the State of the Nation address, reiterated was about the Ministry of Agriculture launching a digital platform known as the Kenya Integrated Agriculture Management Information System, which aims to facilitate the registration of farmers, provide e-extension, credit management, mechanization services by the government and the counties. And according to the president, the platform is also designed to organize and use data to implement various farmer support services. So the registration system has been tested and used to register farmers and give the fertilizer subsidy on pilot basis. Just a few other things that we were able to capture from the President William Ruto State of the Nation address is that according to what is said, just give me a minute. He said something about the housing program, that contracts that had been lapsed in September 2023 will be extended for 3 years. He talked about healthcare, whereby there'll be employment of 20,000 healthcare workers, which still remains an unfulfilled promise. He had promised that he'd employ these healthcare workers from January 2023. And then he also talked about corruption. He talked about corruption and he said that he is going to tighten the belts. He is going to ensure that any loopholes on corruption in the government and any parastatal or any government stakeholders will not be allowed to rule or will not be allowed to operate. Now, Don, you heard this State of the Nation address. According to you, do you think there are any hits and misses? Do you think that he's just regurgitating words? Because words on the ground are, people are still crying. The president did not capture the mood of the nation because as we speak right now, even the mamamboga outside, my friend who is a mamamboga who sells outside my establishment, she is still complaining of the price of the vegetables, the price of the onions, the price of the things that I buy every day to cook at my house. They have gone up. And she's also complaining about the fuel prices, and this is not helping in the Kenyan situation. And also, if you remember, President Ruto said that we need to tighten our belts, which means that he needs to make some very difficult and unpopular decisions to ensure that in the next few years to come, that Kenyan's economy will be streamlined and go back to where it was before when they came in. Remember when the Kenya Kwanza government was being sworn in during the after the 2022 August elections, the deputy president of Kenya Kwanza, uh, Gashagwa, was lauded and by some, and also he was floored by some because he said that we had inherited a dilapidated economy. What are your thoughts on that?
First thing, before I give my thoughts, if you're watching us and you have your view on the topic today, you can comment with what you think. Are you like our viewers? Are they satisfied with what President Ruto said in his State of Nation address? And then the other issue on my side, I think President Ruto has talked too much, such that he has talked too much, such that even on the State of Nation address seemed like his normal address every day, because there's things that he was speaking about in his in his speech yesterday seemed to be the same every day. Every day, they say there's value in something that is rare. You understand? So it will be difficult maybe for people to give him a ear and believe what he said yesterday, considering he has done so much promises that people nowadays or people currently aren't maybe interested in what he's he's speaking or what he spoke yesterday on the State of Nation address. So that value, they say that the way that I've told you, see, there's value in something being rare. If money will be available every day or in plenty, there will be no value in it. So I think if President Ruto will be like maybe the way Kibaki used to do, or the way Uhuru used to do, like there was minimal media presence or media speeches from the president, and there was value in that press briefing when he calls for press briefing, or he is at a particular event giving a speech. During Kibaki time, it was very, how can I say it? It was like people were so much expectant of what the president was going to say. But if the president is talking each and every day, making promises, talking about El Nino, talking about what, talking about anything, and then the at the tail end, what President Ruto is accomplishing compared with the promises he's making, the balance is not balancing.
Well, Some would beg to disagree with your comments, Don, because according to the governor Sakaja a while ago, he said that the president is the most YouTubeable president that we have in the world right now. You remember yesterday, before just the State of the Nation address, there was a sort of a PR motion that was going on. We saw the president in his office and making direct calls to the hustlers, making direct calls to a man who owned a border, and probably he was asking him critical questions like how was he doing, how is his business, how is his life moving on, just to know the state of the economy and what the people were going through. Do you think that was something that was really needed at the time, or do you think that was just extra from the government?
Yeah,
The PR
I think
gimmicks.
that was PR. Maybe PR is always intended to divert the attention of people to maybe seeing the president as the most approachable and the most friendly president. You understand? But I think President Ruto has more. We can say that his PR team is overworking, but we didn't elect a president, or the people didn't elect a president to be shown PR gimmicks here and there. They wanted development and the government to deliver to his to its people. You understand? So I think the president is. I think those PRs, the way I've told you, is just to divert the mind of the people and trying to create excuses that, or trying to create that impression that the government inajali common mwananchi. That you see on those phone calls, he was making the way they've said with the tuk-tuk rider and those people. You see, first of all, we don't know if those people are working for the government or they are just working for themselves. There's no proof of that. And then I think the issue here, they should first go to, you see the way President Ruto makes those rallies to the ground. He should go now and tell, like on top of vehicle, ask people, what do you think about Kenya? I think that way you'll get real responses from the people and real reaction from the people, apart from maybe sitting in his office and making phone calls here and there. I think that won't help. People want development, people want change. And then there is this issue, though he didn't mention it on his address, about about Kindiki raising those passports and IDs. You understand? So I think that made people currently are tired, and people actually need something different, something. People are tired of speeches. Even on the comment sections, we always see, like, people are tired, literally. Even if we share videos of President Ruto making promises, people currently are tired. They just want peace. And the way the things are going, you see on Twitter right now, what's trending on Twitter, number one is maandamano, the hashtag maandamano. So I think people are tired, and then they are trying to now reignite Raila Odinga to respond. But I think people, Raila Odinga, watu wakashazoea Raila Odinga so much that I think currently is making a different strategy. He's approaching things tofauti. You saw even from her daughter, the comment telling Kenyans like to leave his father alone. So on my side, I think President Ruto, I think with the space that Raila Odinga left him, you understand, because back then ilikuwa excuse, ilikuwa that, like, Raila Odinga if comes to akikam kwa press anapinga president anakuja anasema, anatumia kama excuse. I think hiyo chance ya Raila Odinga kumwachia run, I think he should, if indeed he had a good vision with Kenya, he should use now that moment to shine, that moment to bring development and positivity towards its people. And because currently what he's launching is just most of the projects it's launching right now, and maybe speaking as achievement, most of them are Ruru's project. So there isn't much we can speak about Kenya Kwanza government so far. And on the comment section, we have I think we have a comment. Thank you, Bitter Boy, Kenya Gospel, for your comment. So I think that's what I think about Kenya Kwanza government so far. And then you can give us your comment on President Ruto's speech, and maybe what you expected him to address. Yeah, give us your comment if you're watching us on Facebook. And thank you very much for following. And if in case you're not a follower of Lightcast TV and you're watching us, you can just give us a follow button or a follow on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yeah.
Interesting train of thought from Don about the president's address. Well, it's true. It's true that the mood on the ground right now is that people do not actually agree with what President Ruto has said. But the issue here is on the ground, especially in the Kenya Kwanza strong zones. What are the people saying actually? And we have had instances where the politicians from those areas are begging the president to lower the fuel prices so that they do not get attacked by the electorate who voted for them on the ground. So I think the president should stop living in a bubble for me, because from the time ever since he came into the government, he's been regurgitating words like tumekubaliana ya kwamba tutafanya hiki, tutasonga huku, tutajenga hili, we will do this and that. You know, people are still waiting to actually see something tangible that will actually help ensure that the Kenyans say something good about the Kenya Kwanza government. Look at the fuel prices. The fuel prices have made everything to go off the roof. Look at the electricity prices. Right now, even in my house, the kind of tokens that are being consumed are just out of this world. It is off the hook. So the president, I feel that he needs to change the strategy. Secondly, the people that he has brought into his government as the CSs and the PSs, are they actually doing something? Listen, we had a demonstration just here at the CBD by the people who are hawkers. They are demonstrating against Governor Sakaja's policies. So the Kenyan Kwanza government economic bottom-up agenda, is it really working for this for the people in Kenya? Because these people thought that the mamambogas, the boda people will be given first priority. But to be honest, these mamambogas and the boda people, as I have talked to you firsthand, are complaining. They are not happy. They are not happy with what is happening on the ground. So, Don, I was thinking, like you said, it is right that I think President Ruto needs to change strategy on just regurgitating words and letting people know what he is doing. Maybe he should stop doing these press briefings and maybe change strategy and roll his hands and get his hands dirty and ensure that actually people can see what he is doing, and let, like the Bible says, let another mouth praise you and not your own. Let the people on the ground say what you're actually doing to ensure that the economy has been stabilized. Don, what do you think?
Yeah, there's another issue that you said about Governor Sakaja praising Ruto as the most utabable president. I think they have. I told you that thing's over. We need a new thing, and then we need the way that we've said that we need a new approach to things, and then we need because from the ground, I think President Ruto is a micromanager. So maybe there are some policies that the particular ministries are making. You can see maybe it's a direct hand from Ruto, and maybe, for example, for that one for the IDs, there is a plan. They say that there is a plan maybe to replace the digital the IDs, the like the plastic IDs with the digital IDs, like scanning of iris and so that issue. Now that's why maybe they are raising the cost of getting now a physical ID. There are those maybe strategies to divert the mind of the people. So I think the issue here, President Ruto should get. I think he should first maybe get advisors, those people that will advise him accordingly, and he should actually listen to those people. There's a difference between getting advisors and listening to the advisor, because you can have an advisor hapo na if one gives his or her mind, you don't listen to him or you don't follow what the advisor is suggesting. So I think he should first listen to advisors, because I think for the past in the past regimes, there is a comparison like with the President Moi. President Moi used to be a teacher, and maybe he was picked from being a teacher to like into the government. So there's many things he wasn't familiar with, but he employed people who can actually work and can actually accomplish his vision to the people. So I think he should change strategy and stand out as a president, because right now is yeye na msanii hakuna tofauti. They say there are people saying that President Ruto's government and in music industry go hand in hand because of PR na Kiki. So and right now Kikis are not working, because Kikis are just meant to divert the mind of the people from what is actually happening on the ground. We have seen this issue of now Haiti. So people are asking that yesterday I saw that there are some, was it 19 billion set aside for the Haiti mission. So I think, and then back then the president said that the Haiti mission will not be will not be sponsored by the Kenyan government. And right now the news have come up like the mission will be from the taxpayers' money. So it's like Kenya donating already. The Kenyan people are tired of what's happening. They are tired of taxes. They are tired of everything. And then now you take another country's burden and then place on Kenyans. So I think that your issue imekuwa tricky sana, because the president comes out on a state and addresses the people that the Kenyan government will not be sponsoring that mission, and then the other saizi kunatokea hiyo issue ya the taxpayer watalipia hiyo, watagharamia hiyo, and already Kenyans are feeling the heat of everything, cause and then there is that issue that the price of oil will be, or petroleum will be rating at 300 shillings anytime soon. So I think people are tired, and maybe right now what's happening, maybe people are just burning within, and you never know, it may reach a time, because it has been barely almost a year since President Ruto took the leadership. But when you compare what Uhuru did and right now, you see as much as maybe I can say on my view, as much as I can say the pressure was back then during Uhuru's time, right now it's like the pressure has been so much in 1 year. And that time with Uhuru, the pressure was somehow big in the duration of 4 years. So, and then it's like Ruto has compressed that pressure of Uhuru, and maybe back then with Kibaki, those bit of pressure, and he just put it compressed for 1 year, so people are just feeling that heat. So you can guess if the cost of fuel within 1 year in office is almost approaching 300 bob. What do you expect by the time he's maybe finishing his first term? What do you think that the taxes itafikia. Unaona? You see, you must use what's happening right now to predict what will happen maybe in the future. So it's not a walk in the park, and I think it's high time, like even the UDA MPs and senators accept what's happening on the ground, because there's no value in going and protecting the people, or protecting what the president is trying to do. Come out, stand out, and speak what's happening on the ground, because MPs, senators were elected into the offices to represent the people, not to represent the government. You understand? Don't protect the interests of the government. Even if you are an Azimio leader or Azimio MP, UDMP, you are elected into the office to protect the interest of the people, not to protect the interest of your stomach, or to protect the interest of the president. Because protecting the interest of the president means that even if the president is doing negative things, you understand, even if is coming up on a policy zinaumiza wananchi, you are just protecting it blindly. You are not standing out to correct those things. There's that issue of kuna issue ya nini inaitwaje, issue ya housing. So you can see, actually people predicted that that housing thing will raise the cost of living, but the MPs proceeded and just wakaipitisha. After kupitisha sana, sasa wanakuja ni kama they are trying to, now they in some way, like in quote, protecting now standing out from wananchi right now. Sana wanaambia Ruto apunguze some things. That one isn't that's a mockery. That, according to me, is a mockery. Or what do you think?
Well, there's something you said about the police mission in Haiti. Actually, Kenya, according to the online news headlines, Kenya needs around 91 million for police mission to Haiti. And as you remember the State of the Nation address, Ruto reminds Kenyans that my tough choices is for a better Kenya. He also talked about corruption issues. He talked about the need to tighten the loopholes of corruption. Well, when he was speaking actually about how he wants to deal with corruption, my mind went back to a county in the Rift Valley where Ruto comes from. Is it Wasingishu, where there was this issue about the Finland money. The parents complained and complained about amassing a lot of millions so that they could take their kids to Finland for education. And the senator who was responsible, who was the governor at the time, who is now a senator, Mandago, well, is the one who is responsible. And we saw that the government tried to show that he was going to be dealt with in matters to do with corruption. But right now, as we speak, this thing has died down. Is really what the government is saying is that they'll just give us lip service and not do anything on the ground. Because I remember Ruto went to the people of Wasingishu County and he made a promise to the people and said that he will actually bring to book everybody who was responsible for ensuring that this money was wasted, yet it was supposed to be used for ensuring that these kids are taken to school in Finland. Yet, you could actually see from the videos that were being done in Wasingishu County, these students were actually looking dead. Like a lady said, I am dead already. I am following up this money, yet I am being threatened. I am being told to shut up. But she could not shut up because his parents had sold the shambas, they had sold their goods, they had sold their assets for the kids' future. And now the government has done actually nothing. The EACC, what have they done about it? The institutions responsible for handling issues to do with corruption, what are they doing about it? President Ruto said mambo ni matatu. Hizo mambo matatu, what has happened to those people who are responsible in this Finland saga? Actually, that is a question that needs to linger in people's minds, because this government needs to stop to giving us lip service and actually take staunch actions against the people who are responsible for that Finland money. The parents right now are tired. I am sure right now, if we go to a Singishu County, we will not miss people who have actually committed suicide or they are under depression simply because of that. Now I'm asking, if President Ruto is actually serious about handling corruption, he needs to tell us, and he needs to give an account of what he has done to ensure that money in the Finland saga has been brought back and the parents are actually saying that they have the money back. Don, what do you think?
On that issue of corruption, I think President Ruto is directing his guns on wrong direction, because actually so far he's taking the guns and pointing it to the investors. Maybe those investors, there was that story of Rai and yeah, those investors go now. That I told you earlier, inafaa nini, inafaa kuwe serious na fanye nini, you face the matters direct, because there's no way your people, the people in your own country are not at peace because of what they were done, or what their former governor did to them, and you are just telling them something that you know very well you'll not be accomplishing it. So unapata during that time of Mandago, unapata there was just a PR gimmicks of like arrests in court, prosecution in court, nini, of which people just knew that there is nothing, or there's nowhere the case is going. So I think the president should face the matters head on. There is pride in standing for what is right, or there's just that inaitwaje, there's pride, and then there is that trust and everything. So if indeed is a president of the people, he should face the matters direct and handle them as a president, because there, apart from that, there are just a lot of issues on the ground that people are asking, where's the president voice in it, because there some things that cannot just be happening, and then the president is silent, is not responding unto it. That means that the president, maybe people will just think that the government is on a pilot mode, like there's no president taking charge on what's happening in the country.
Mm-hmm.
I think the president needs to speak out and take action. You see, there's a difference between speaking out and taking action. He should take action. He's the one who anasemanga yende kona hiyo nini, ende kona hiyo sword, anaweza fika anybody maybe mwenye amefanya kitu mbaya. So I think he should just walk the talk and do what he's saying, not PR, because going kuambia watu PR nini, watu wanafurahi, then unarudi kwa room yako, hauna, uko njaa, uko nini. It makes sense. You understand?
You have talked about the sword that he was given. Now, is that sword really working? He has a CS who is actually, according to some people, he is turned rogue, a rogue CS Moses Kuria, who made very palpable comments on Honorable Mwangaza's second impeachment attempt while it was being prosecuted at the Senate. Do you think that the fact that Moses Kuria's actions and character, do you think that is the do you think that is the president's doing, or did he have an ulterior motive choosing such CSs, or what do you think was going on behind President Ruto's choice of Moses Kuria becoming the CS, knowing who Moses Kuria is? And do you think that he should discipline Moses Kuria more, and maybe he's having that laxity of not disciplining him?
I think the issue here is The choice of the CSS and those officials in government is mostly influenced by politics, and it's influenced by like giving back to those maybe people who contributed during his campaigns, and maybe trying to balance the sheets pale kwa like wacha nipatie kitu kwa mlima, wacha nipatie kitu juu kwa Nyanza, vitu kaa hizo. And when you take that approach in selecting the CSS or people who you expect will be helping you run the government, it will be wrong. I think people should just be hired because they are competent and can perform their tasks well without maybe being supervised or being micromanaged by the president. We can see there during President Uhuru's time, has had Uhuru alikuwa na weaknesses zake, but we can see the people he appointed into the cabinet, they were less of politicians. If you know, they were less of politicians. Most of them right now hata ujui mali wako, watu kama minister of health back then ile time ya corona, mpaka sahizi watu wajui. He has just laid
Kagwe.
Mutahi Kagwe mpaka sahizi amekuwa chini ya maji, una understand. Kuna mtu kama anaitwaje huyu wa interior
CS I don't remember.
there's that Matiang'i.
Matiang'i, yeah.
Kuna Matiang'i. Watu kama Matiang'i walikuja kwa ground, yani kumaanisha they were just when they were appointed into offices, they were just interested in serving the people in totality and accomplishing President Uhuru's vision to the people. So when you compare President Ruto's cabinet na cabinet ya Uhuru, there's a big difference. President Ruto is more of politicians, and of course, when you're a politician, you'll want to remain relevant to the people and try to remain kwa macho ya watu.
And I think being a shrewd politician is working for him. Do you think, or is it working? Because to some it is working. So he needs to keep people busy in his mind, not to question, maybe not to question what they do not see they want to happen. Maybe he's just keeping them in the bare minimum, whereby wewe tulia, najua kuna vitu ambavyo unahitaji, just chill, I am doing something. Maybe he just wants to keep up that rhetoric.
The issue here is not even trying to keep people at peace, maybe trying to calm them down after guys, because it has been 1 year and people are just feeling it, what's happening. It has been just 1 year. So for how long maybe is he planning to use those little tactics to calm the people? So if the people are feeling the pressure within 1 year, do you think they will be able to take it maybe in the next the remaining years of his term? You understand? So I don't think that one will work. I think the issue here, to some extent, maybe to some extent, according to me, he appointed incompetent people into the cabinet. There are just a few CSs who are delivering. Those are just a few out of many. So he should just accept that. First thing, he should accept he appointed wrong people and change the cabinet. You understand, in totality, not trying to juggle around, maybe kutoa kuri hapa anaweka huku ingine, anatoa huku anaweka huku. No, you should just sack people who are incompetent and replace them with professionals who will know how to handle matter without politicizing it. You understand? I think he should just deliver to the people, and that one he'll be able to do so kama akona timu itamsaidia. I think those there's also a issue ya kutravel sana. The traveling he has done so far. I think those many travels are pia pushed by to some extent, because a whole president going out there and maybe going to the Amazon, Google, I don't know, that one is a work of a CS. You understand? So I think there is a lot of incompetency, and President Ruto is working hard, like by himself, trying to.
He's micromanaging.
He's micromanaging, and he's trying so much to fill in kwa hizo magaps, and feeling that inamfanya na that when he micromanages people, that one will divert him from his vision, because he needs professionals and people who can get the wheels rolling to fit those places. I think when akichukua hiyo approach, things will change.
Well, let's go back to our comments. Do we have comments? Maybe if you feel like there are people out there who are crying simply because of the cost of living, the cost of fuel, the cost of energy, and the way things are going, what are your thoughts? What do you think are some of the measures? What do you think are some of the interventions that the government can employ to ensure that the Kenya's economy has been stabilized? So give us your comments. We are on Lightcast TV Facebook page. Give us a comment. Give us a statement of what you think. Is it true that what the President Ruto commented during the State of the Nation address, are there some of the things that he has accomplished, and has it trickled down to the common mwananchi? So Don, maybe if wrapping up, as we are wrapping up, what do you think are some of the quick wins from this 1 year? What do you think are some of the things that you've enjoyed under President Ruto's regime? What are some of the goods and what are some of the losses, the hits and misses?
I think the misses are very many, overshadowing the
Start with the goods.
their goods so far.
Should be.
That's what I'm saying. If, what's happening?
Can start by saying the cost of fertilizer has been brought down from 6,500 to 2,500, and that definitely has brought a lot of good to the Kenyan farmers on the ground.
There's a controversy between on that fertilizer issue, because there were news that Russia donated some fertilizer to Kenya.
Can you substantiate that?
We see. I'm just saying, like, on according to the papers. You understand? Sometimes we just have to go through the news and the papers and get some information there. So I think they say that there are some there is a donation that was done by Russia of fertilizers to Kenya, and maybe right now those fertilizers are what the people are now buying at a cheaper price. You never know, because something that is donated, we expect maybe the government to give the people like totally free.
As much as you're saying that, Don, you're saying that the bags were donated from Russia. So the thing is, the quality of that fertilizer, I haven't had any complaints from the ground. People have actually said that the fertilizer actually works, and they've gotten, according to President Ruto, 180 million more bags compared to last year. So that's why we see that there is a reduction of the 2 kg unga from 250 that it was to now 145 thereof, depending on the brand.
I think about unga, it was this was just it's a season of harvesting. You see, they say when the supply is many, this is the season of harvesting. So I think the maize is in plenty, and if something is plenty, the demand will be low. Thus, maybe reducing the cost. You understand? And if the commodity is rare, the demand will rise and the cost will rise also. So I think the issue here is it was just this is just an harvesting time, and what I can tell Kenyans, maybe they should give this unga issue another 2 months so that they see if indeed it has stabilized.
Okay. Maybe another quick win. There are some government services that have been digitized. Over 20,000 government services have been digitized. People can actually go online to get these government services. But then, on the other side, when you look at the government services, let us look at the issue of passports. Let us look at the fact that CS Kindiki made a statement and said that he's going to hike the fees for passports from was it from 4,500 to 7,500 Kenya shillings. And already the Kenyans are complaining, they're grappling with the issues to do with the hikes, and I don't think that is really a good thing. As we saw, one of the legal minds, Omari, said that he is going to take that issue to court, and actually, as we speak, the High Court has actually halted the hiking of fees, which gives Kenyans a reprieve. So I think those are some of the things that the government needs to take a look at. They need to really examine and to do a thorough analysis of what is happening on the ground and ensure that the Kenyan people agree and choose to support this government for the right reasons, not simply because they're regurgitating words ever since they came into government. Don?
Yeah, now closing, I can say that first thing they should the government Ruto should take different approach. I think maybe for the 1 year he has stayed in office, he knows now the flaws and maybe what he expected as a president or what he didn't expect. I think right now, if 1 year was enough to measure like what to do. I think after 1 year, he should change approach, and I should. I think there's a. I can say there is a chance. I can say there's a chance if he takes a good approach. Maybe getting the right people for the jobs, like the CS jobs and some things of that sort. I think things will be much better. And if also he looks for good advisors to advise him and maybe take charge in some segments or departments in government, I think everything will be good. So far, what I can say, I tell Kenyans, I cannot tell Kenyans maybe to be kuwa vumilivu. What I can just say, like let Kenya Kwanza government actually go to the ground and get the real matters, what's happening, and out of that, let them take the real action or what's needed for the people to feel better. We understand maybe the cost of fuel has risen, maybe in other countries, and especially in those oil producing companies, or not oil producing countries like Nigeria, or those the distributors. We understand that, but there are some things there are some actions we can take that can soften the life of Kenyans, and I think I can say that all in all, if I takes those steps in changing one or two things, things will be better.
Well, that was Dawn, and this is me signing out. Do we have comments, Dawn?
We have Jefferson Mulei Ndusi saying that stop hearsays and say the good thing the government has done. And Jefferson still saying that let's be positive and pray for our nation. Yeah, I can say that, of course, positivity wins. Positivity wins, but sometimes even prayers works an action. You understand? If and action as mwananchi, action is just to speak out, because there's nothing much we can do as wananchi. We can just speak out our minds and speak out what we think about the government, what actions the government needs to take, the way they are feeling the heat, and then out of speaking out, the government can actually listen to the people. And then when maybe when you hear the government has listened to your voice, you can just pray that they make maybe now the good moves, or take the right actions for the things you are crying for to be changed. You understand?
Well, so thank you for your comments. Well, my last wrap up from the President's State of the Nation address yesterday, I think the president needs to do a paradigm shift. He needs to change his approach, he needs to change his strategy, he needs to look for the right think tanks to ensure that the Kenyan government takes this country to the next level. He needs to ensure that the CSs are performing. He needs to ensure that the people on the ground are actually getting actual services for what they need. Matters health, matters food, matters water. All these things on the ground, they need to be addressed. This is Ninja Kolek from Lightcast TV.
And Don Martin.
Thank you for listening to us. See you next time and good morning.